Welcome to Reality of Faith and Wisdom. My name is Yuri, and today we are talking about 7 days of kindness and how can you change your life with 7 days of kindness. Now, just recently, I went to Church of the Highlands to their conference called Grow Leader Conference. And we took some people from our church, about 6 of us all together, and just went to learn the church world, to look into more things, what leaders do today, and what works, what don't work. And there's a phrase, when it rains, it pours. And usually that's what happens in my life always. It's like I don't travel at all, and then there's period that I travel a lot, and then I don't travel at all, and then I travel a lot. And this happens to be those couple of weeks that I've traveled very intensively. And first travel was to Church of the Highlands, and when we were there for about 4 days, it was very amazing. One of my friends, by the name Kyle, we started talking about habits, and we started talking about how habits, how can we form good habits, how can we take away bad habits, and we started sharing about some of the bad habits that we currently have. And so he said that his habit is coffee, mine too. And Kyle said, it's hard for me to quit coffee because my body almost going into the shock. And when I quit coffee, my head hurts and just it's not pleasant. And so I turned to him, I said, listen, why don't we on Monday quit coffee for 7 days? Or I said for a week. All right. And he said, would you do this with me? I said, yeah, of course I will do it with you. So we decided that Monday, I think it was on Thursday when we were talking about, it was the last and final day of Grow Conference. And we say Monday comes in, we're going to stop drinking coffee for 7 days. So we made that commitment, and I've made that commitment without even realizing it what's to come in the next few weeks. Well, that weekend, I had to travel to Gardner City, Massachusetts, to a good friend of mine, Pastor David Trelongo, and preach for him, and also talk about some business ideas. And that Monday, right after that trip, I had to go to Yellowstone to spend a whole week with pastors with Luke 5:16 Outdoors Ministry. And it's a brand new ministry that focuses on getting away. Jesus modeled that for us, and especially for pastors who's always busy and people in ministry, and I think people in business. And so check out Luke 5:16 Outdoors Ministry. And so when I got there on Monday, I realized this is the day that I'm not drinking coffee. And so, as you know, there is if you hang out with good friends and good people, there's good fellowship and coffee involved, especially when you got to spend time camping for 7 days with somebody. And when you go to Yellowstone with cowboys, we would ride horses over 30 miles on horseback riding into deep Yellowstone, and they would make coffee on fire, and they called it cowboy coffee. So when I got there, I finally started almost crying because I realized I'm going to miss all this opportunity to drink coffee with my friends and have fellowship. But at the same time, it was, I knew that it was only going to be 7 days. During that time in Yellowstone, we didn't have no cell phones. We didn't have, no coffee. We were sleeping in the tents, clouds of mosquitoes around us. It was very beautiful and very amazing. I had to put my phone down, and I committed not to drink coffee. But because it was 7 days, because it was a small period of time, it was very easy for me to take my mind and focus on those 7 days and say, hey, it's going to end. I know where the beginning is, and I know where the end is. During the time in Yellowstone, God has spoken to me, and he said this to me. He said, the big victories don't come with one long shot. We like this idea, man. If I can just hit the mark with one shot, boom, and I get to this great victory. If I can just jump over this big mountain and get to the place where I want to be. But big victories don't come with one long shot, but with little, small, faithful steps of obedience. And especially when that small step of obedience has a beginning, has an end. See, I realized if everything works that way, it's very easy for us to commit to things. You see, when we were at the Grow Conference, small groups are following, they're doing the same thing that we do in Impulse Church, and we took that idea from them, but small group following the calendar of school. And with breaks in school and all the semester, because it's very easy for you to commit to 3 months instead of to commit to a small group that continues forever, right? And so I realized, wow, it was something that it was painful. My head hurt for about 4 days straight in the row. I tried not to show it to everybody, but maybe it wasn't pleasant in some of the moments in Yellowstone. So Anthony, if you're watching it, man, if I was grumpy a little bit, you know why. I just didn't have coffee, But it was so easy, again, because it was small, and I know the progress, I know the end, I know the beginning. And here's what Philippians 3:16 said. I just did a series in our church called The Little Things. But Philippians 3:16, it says this, but we must hold on to the progress we've already made. We think as Christians, it's the big progress, it's the big stages, it's the big podcasts that reaches out to millions of people. It's the big long shots of these great victories. It's one war and everything is won. But in reality, God working on you with the one little steps of obedience, as long as we have accountability. I had accountability with Kyle. I told all my pastors, I said, hey guys, I want you to keep me accountable because I'm not drinking coffee for seven days. And as long as you have accountability, as long as you have the time, the beginning, the end, it's so easy to overcome. It's so easy to work on things. You see, it's easy. The 7 days, the reason why I'm called this podcast 7 Days of Kindness, because when God spoke this to me, that the big victories don't come with the one long shot, but through the little small faithful steps of obedience, I realized right away, I wanted to become better dad. I wanted to become a better husband. And the biggest thing that I want to work on right now is kindness. I don't want to give into any emotions. My kids are all teenagers, so there's lots of emotions going on. I don't want to give into any things that's going on in my life. I want my response to be with clear mind. I want it to be with kindness, with love. And I have made decision to commit to 7 days of kindness. And here's the thing, even if you fall within those 7 days, you know where you fall, you can ask for forgiveness and continue and take another 7 days to be better dad, maybe to be better husband, maybe to be better friend, maybe to be a student, better coworker, better son, maybe to have better accountability. You see, it takes 66 or 67 days to break a habit. And that's a big, long shot because that's 2 months. That's over 2 months. And every time when you're looking at that, you're like, wow, it's gonna be hard for me to break that habit. But if you can do it with the 7 days at a time, and even if you miss in between, you will get to that 67 days. And that's what I'm encouraging you, every one of you that's watching today. Don't try to shoot far targets right away if you're barely holding an arrow. Don't try to shoot 400 line if you have a gun and go hunting. Start with the little things. Maybe to be better financially in your life. Maybe to just be better at taking rest. Maybe to be actually a hard worker. Maybe you're just lazy. I don't know. But there's little things that we can improve on. And if we can do it 7 days at a time, then what Philippians said, but we must hold on to the progress we already made. Now it's starting to make sense because you can hold on to the little things. You can hold on to the small victories. You can hold on and you can actually write it down and say, hey, I made a little progress. And that's how victories, opportunities will come into your life. The only thing I said to myself, I said, Yuriy, put a 7 days on the wall and just mark each day. And once 7 days done, celebrate. Thank God for it. You see, the world was created within 7 days. And then God looked at his creation and he says, it was good. As a matter of fact, he said every single day, he said, it was good. It was good. It was good. And then after that 6th day of progress, he looked at those 6 days and said, you know what? This was great. Now I'm going to rest. So change your life 7 days or 6 days at a time. And the 7th day, celebrate. Go after big victories through the small, faithful steps of obedience, and you will change your life forever. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine on you, be gracious to you, turn his face towards you, and give you his mighty, mighty peace.